To our valued partners, thank you for spending part of your day with us. My name is Amanda Donahue, and I am a National Partner Manager at Snyk. We are very excited to be speaking with you today and discussing some of our recent channel partner wins. Our goal in this session is to share how we were able to achieve success with 3 different clients who had 3 different use cases, and how Snyk was the right solution for them as part of their cloud native application security program. Please feel free to leverage the chat for any questions you may have during our time together today. As previously mentioned, we selected 3 very different companies to highlight today. These organizations were selected because they were unique in their own right. One common theme throughout each customer is that they purchased more than one Snyk solution. Now, for an introduction of my fellow colleagues who are joining me today. First, Alex Lindahl. Alex is our Enterprise Client Director covering Massachusetts-based accounts. Alex will share how we were able to win a full Snyk Platform opportunity at a large financial services organization. Second, Rob Turtell. Rob is a Commercial Client Director in EMEA, and Rob will talk about a quick win that we had within an SMB account that was partner sourced. Third, Jay Talwar. Jay is on our enterprise client team in EMEA, and Jay will talk about how we leveraged Cloud Marketplace to win a worldwide lifestyle organization. And last but not least, Paul Harland. Paul is a channel solution engineer in EMEA, and Paul will share how he supported these opportunities from a technical perspective. So without further ado, let's get started. Alex, first question for you. Why was this customer a tier 1 prospect for us, and what Snyk solutions were sold?
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, it's really exciting to be here to share these success stories because we're starting to see a lot more in the channel too. So the account we're talking about is a large financial services institution. It's actually a Fortune 500 account. And one of the things that we're looking at when we put them as a tier 1 is like, what's the potential for us to sell into that account? How large can that opportunity really be? So for this one of the key aspects was it's in financial services. So naturally with financial services, there's lots of compliance. There's usually lots of developers building lots of different applications. And there's a heavy need for compliance and security. This company had around 1,000 developers and was moving to the cloud fairly quickly. They're moving to the cloud and adopting cloud native technologies such as containers and infrastructure as code, and obviously using a lot of open source software to build their applications much faster. Interestingly, they actually have a pretty small AppSec team. And so that was key to realize because for a small team, they need to accomplish a lot more. And so enabling and empowering their developers and partnering with those development teams was really key to maximizing their security impact with such a small number of team members. It was around a $4.5 million deal over several years, and they purchased the full platform. So our full platform includes open source, code, containers, and infrastructure as code. And what they're looking to do is actually replace 3 different products covering 3 different areas and solve for the 4th one in an area they had a gap in. But the 3 different products were, not developer friendly. They were hard to integrate across the SDLC, and those security tools had a low adoption. So going back to the team's goal of how can we do more with a small team and partnering with developers, using the full platform and giving developers insight into those 4 different capabilities was really key.
Thank you, Alex. You actually answered questions 1 and 2 at the same time, so thank you for that summary. You did provide a lot of insight and intelligence that was helpful when we were looking at this Fortune 500 organization. Now, moving on to the partner, how did we leverage partner value in the opportunity based on their knowledge in the account?
Yeah, definitely. And just to touch, to add a little bit more to question 2, there's some additional intelligence that we can help the partner with. For example, we have a lot of insight into the number of developers to scope the TAM of the opportunity. We have a lot of insight into the technologies that they're using. So for example, are they using infrastructure as code, Kubernetes, Terraform, containers? But also we have a freemium model. So a lot of what we do with our partners is actually cross-reference accounts and see if there's actually free users at that account using Snyk already. And a lot of times there's actually free users. So that's a really easy, opportunity and talking point for us and for partners to bring that up to those customers. But in terms of when getting into the opportunity, we partnered really closely with this partner, and they really provided value in 3 different ways. 1, just the overall strategy for navigating the account. It's a large Fortune 500 customer. This partner has done tons of business with this account, so it was easy to call up our friend at the partner and say, hey, let's strategize. Where should we go? Who are going to be the key stakeholders within this account? The other is business relationships. So helping getting the key people involved, getting access to the CISO or higher ups that we may not have been introduced to. And a lot of times just simply navigating the politics internally at the customer. So those business relationships really help us, and combining our expertise and targeting or partnering on the opportunity really goes a long way. And then finally, when we're getting to the end of the sales cycle, the end of the pilot, those procurement relationships really help expedite the contractual process for a quicker win. So this deal was actually it was about 4 to 5 months, which is fairly quick for a deal this size of $4.5 million.
Yeah, absolutely. The speed of being able to close a large opportunity like that, and all the alignment coming together was incredible on both sides. So Alex, the last question for you. Now that the opportunity has closed, is there anything in your partner strategy that you would have changed?
Yeah, another great question. So I think we did a lot of things right. We got the partner engaged very early on in the sales process, and we included the partner at each step of the way, including all of the different pilot sessions and help sessions we had for the partner. We had a really great relationship and engagement with the account rep at the partner. We did with the solution architect, but if I were to go back and do things a little bit differently, I would have probably wanted to engage that solution architect a little bit more and earlier, and educated them more on Snyk, so they could be more engaged in that pilot. And then lastly, I think there's a lot of opportunities for Snyk and our partners to work together on the onboarding side of once we win a customer. So thinking about those things up front during the pilot, those are things I probably would have spent a little more focus on, but we're starting to get that rhythm more in place, and in general, I think we had a really great win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Having technical buy-in from our partners and really leveraging both sides of that overall account team is really important. So Alex, thank you so much for your time and willingness to speak about your amazing opportunity, and we appreciate your participation today. Now moving over to Rob and Paul, our friends across the pond. We're going to talk about a channel sourced opportunity that was a quick win with an SMB account. So as this opportunity was found by a channel partner, why did they believe that Snyk would be an option for their client based on their needs and objectives?
Hi, Amanda. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, with this being partner sourced, I think the real advantage here was that the partner knew their client's security capabilities very well from the offset. So they understood that they were running manual pen tests still, and they had a fairly blank slate in terms of software security, even though they were running a very modern SDLC approach. So the agency themselves were very aware that they could actually modernize their security approach and embed security into this SDLC that they had, and actually enabling the developers to own this process as well. Automation was something that was also of real interest to the client here. So ultimately, the partner knew that the agency fundamentally wanted to deliver better work for its clients. So they knew that introducing Snyk meant that they could hand over more secure software to their clients. Paul, do you have any thoughts from a more technical perspective on that question?
So yeah, we had engaged extensively with that partner, doing sales enablement, pre-sales training as well. So the partner was well aware of the capabilities of the Snyk platform. So he's very good at identifying opportunities. This particular agency also had a distributed workforce. So they were all around the world, and they wanted a platform which could give them that security posture from all these different projects that were happening all at different times throughout that software development lifecycle. And we were actually up against GitLab Ultimate for this opportunity. And ultimately, wink, wink, the intelligence from the Snyk database and the fact that we could also do container as well as SAST and SCA actually enabled us to win that opportunity.
Great, thank you for that insight. Now, as this was a channel sourced opportunity, and you already highlighted some of the partner value that originated and had this opportunity come to Snyk, what other partner leverage would you say that was helpful based on their knowledge of the account?
Yeah, for sure. So I think obviously we've highlighted in this instance that the key value was that the partner actually sourced the opportunity. So it's an excellent example of how we can work with a partner where they're also not just processing the deals, but actually bringing them to Snyk, and we're working in tandem. But kind of secondly to that, that the partner value throughout this opportunity was incredible. The knowledge of the account that they had was second to none. So the representative from the partner themselves had an excellent personal relationship with senior management, and he'd worked with them multiple times previously across a number of security initiatives. And this was just really instrumental in helping us to find the right package and actually close the commercials at the pace we did. So we were able to close this whole process in under a month, and we were also able to agree to a multi-year deal. And all of this really is testament to the relationship that the representative at the partner had with the end client and the buyers there in the account.
That is really outstanding. Less than a month. You don't really hear of that too often, regardless of the technology spend. So, Rob and Paul, I'll ask you the same question that I asked Alex. Now that the opportunity is closed, is there anything in your partner strategy that you would have changed?
I'll jump in and then I'll let Paul go. So yeah, it's a great question. I think that what I would take from this deal is understanding the partner customer relationship that's already there and actually how deep that relationship is. This deal really taught me that can be beyond valuable to getting stuff done. And even knowing the depth of this relationship earlier may have helped us to close this deal even quicker. I think also kind of moving forward, having closed the deal, we're now looking at leveraging this relationship with the partner as we worked very well to achieve this joint outcome for the client. And so we're simply looking to replicate this business in similar accounts going forward. So I feel that's they're the two elements that I've learned from this deal and I'll be implementing in my partner and channel strategy going forward.
Well, not something that I'd change, but something that I certainly realized. It's when we go into these opportunities, we always try and form that trusted relationship. I, from the SE side, try and form that technical relationship. But what you can't beat sometimes is the maturity of the relationship that the partner would have, working with the particular opportunity, perhaps for 3 or 4 years. So it's always good to be able to leverage that mature, well-bred relationship. And I'm certainly going to be doing that going forward a lot more.
Absolutely. Having that trust and that business-to-business relationship is fundamental, but also having the personal relationships that our channel partners have with, multiple levels throughout the organization is just absolutely imperative. And it sounds like this was really demonstrated in this particular opportunity. So I thank you both for your time today and joining us for SnyKCon Partner Day use cases.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to stay across the pond and hand it over to Jay. So again, we're going to talk about a worldwide lifestyle company that Jay was able to close through Marketplace. Extremely important avenue for us. So Jay, why was this customer a tier 1 prospect for us, and what Snyk solutions were sold?
Yeah, no, thanks, Amanda. Great to be here speaking at SnyKCon on the opening day. So yeah, this particular customer, the reason why we went after them and they were a tier 1 prospect for us was because they had suffered a ransomware attack. This had effectively shut down and disrupted a lot of their online operations across many countries. So introducing Snyk to the business and the value our solution would bring to help prevent this from happening again was vital. So we were able to then reach out to a number of individuals within the security team, within the enterprise architecture team, and the DevOps teams to help them enable and enhance their security posture within their SDLC. And once we were engaged with them, we discovered there was actually a strategic initiative for the business to also move to the cloud, which was one of the other compelling events that occurred within this business. The solutions that they ended up purchasing in the end were Snyk Open Source, Snyk Container Scanning, and Infrastructure as Code. So these 3 tools within the Snyk platform they purchased to be able to enhance their security posture as they move into the cloud with that team. So once they've moved from on-prem to the cloud, this will help then scale security within their development, within their applications.
That's great. And why was this account a target for you? And who did you target within the account as well?
Sure. So having read up that, in the press that this organization had suffered that ransomware attack, and being within my territory in the UK, headquartered out of the UK, in fact, I targeted them based on that compelling event. The individuals I targeted there that would typically be responsible for that not happening again, i.e. the enterprise architecture team aligned with security and DevOps engineers as well. They were the key individuals. And once we were speaking and it was understood what they wanted, we were then able to articulate the value that Snyk would bring to their business.
Wonderful. Now, how did we leverage partner value in the opportunity based on their knowledge in the account? And how did we leverage the cloud marketplace to close the deal and benefit the customer?
Yeah, sure. So great question there. The value that we leveraged with the partner was, well, the partner was brought in quite late to the opportunity. This is probably towards the end when the procurement was getting involved. So where we were then able to engage with the partner was to help fast track that procurement process and leverage their relationships, and also to help the partner understand the value that we were bringing to this organization through this purchase. And the fact that it was a compelling event that we were addressing, we needed to get this done very, very quickly. So as a result, leveraging the partners' relationships across the entire business through senior managers in procurement, also with the parent organization, allowed us to fast track this process. And where we did use Marketplace, we were actually able to fast track the onboarding process. So typically not going through all of the different supplier forms that you would need to as a vendor. We were able to fast track all of that, and ultimately, in the end, it was a win-win situation for us here at Snyk, the organization that purchased Snyk, and the partners and AWS Marketplace.
That's great, Jay. Thank you. And the final question for you. Now that the opportunity has closed, is there anything that you would change in your partner strategy?
Yeah, 100%. Lots of learnings, but what I would do is fundamentally ask all the prospects at the beginning of an engagement, is there a particular partner that we can engage with? Is there a particular partner they would like us to engage with at the offset, and help drive that conversation and see how that will help move through the process a lot quicker. So that's one of the key things that I would definitely change in this opportunity. So understanding that partner engagement as early as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so advantageous for us to have early partner engagement as opposed to the latter, but it sounds like it worked out for you in this opportunity, and they were able to show value in the procurement and the cloud marketplace phase. So as we're wrapping up, I'd like to ask a question to the overall audience. What are the key takeaways for partners participating in our session today that they can take with them when they're thinking about Snyk and their accounts?
I guess a quick thought from me is that I think really fundamentally is that there's a huge appetite for all of us at Snyk to work with more and more partners, particularly specialist ones in their space. So I think it may not directly answer the question, but there's a real drive from us to build relationships, work with partners, and recreate more of the similar deals that we've done. So I think if partners kind of take anything away from the session, it's that we're here and we're very keen to work with people and build relationships and close more of the business that we've talked about today.
That's great. Thank you, Rob. Anybody else?
Yeah, and to add on to that, since we're solving for 4 different layers of the cloud native application security stack, there's really an opportunity in almost every single account out there. There's no company that has all of those 4 areas adequately covered. So if they're not covered, or they have open source and SaaS, then let's talk about containers and infrastructure as code, and vice versa. But typically there is an insertion point given these 4 different layers, and that's what's really exciting, is we can always find a way into an account if we use the right strategies.
Absolutely, and I think it's proven, with our expansion opportunities as an organization, while we love to sell multi-product opportunities, the ability for us, Alex, to your point, to land and expand and become very sticky within the account through our channel partners is really advantageous for all parties involved.
Yeah, and just to add to that point and extend on there, we at Snyk, we're growing at rapid speed. We're innovative, and we're acquiring new customers all the time. And I think with the huge focus for organizations to move to the cloud, and there being more digital transformation out there, this is another revenue stream that can be opened up for our partners. Where traditional relationships may well be with security, leveraging Snyk's value proposition allows the partners to actually open up another revenue stream where they're speaking directly to developers, and that side of the software development lifecycle, if you like.
Yeah, and if you look at the sessions that we're running today, some of the sessions are about bridging that gap between security and development. And yeah, if you're thinking about any of your accounts as a partner, think of us as an extended part of your team. We have a one mentality team in Snyk, and we extend that to all our partners again. So let's get together, understand accounts, talk about how we can go into these accounts and develop an opportunity with Snyk. We're more than happy to jump on a call and do that at any time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, fellow colleagues, for joining me today. And thank you to our channel partners. for your interest in learning more about where we have sold into clients and the flexibility that we have in closing opportunities together through our partner ecosystem. Enjoy the rest of SnykCon Partner Day.